Are you brave enough to buy a new construction home in a state that you've never lived in? Well, before you take the plunge, watch this video to make sure that you know what's up ahead. While you might be used to buying homes in the summertime where you currently live, that is not going to be what you want to do if you are buying a home in Las Vegas. The temperatures can get a little intense. So usually the only buyers that are out are people who actually have no other choice but to buy a home here in Las Vegas in the summertime. The other thing that might be a little bit different is that our short-term rental market really is not all that great, mainly because there have been restrictions put into place because a lot of these homes, due to, I'm sure, the nature of Las Vegas, have turned into party homes. And so our county commissioners really came in and took a hard look and said, we're going to limit the amount of short-term rentals that you can have, and we're going to really ban them in a lot of other areas. So if you live in an HOA, you will not get a short-term rental. Your market might be different. Another thing to watch for when you're looking at our market is to consider the days on market. Our market right now is going under contract between 30 and 60 days. If homes are on the market for longer than that, you might be able to get a price reduction. Or if you're seeing a lot of price reductions already, well, then that might tell you that while they overprice the property to begin with, since they are reducing the price, you might actually have a motivated seller. So those are two things that you can keep your eye on when you're looking at the market in Las Vegas. We also have a few unique laws that may not apply where you live currently. Nevada is a super lien state. So what that means is that no matter who holds a lien against the property in Nevada, you can actually foreclose. So let's just say it's the HOA that holds the lien for unpaid HOA fines or dues. The HOA can actually foreclose before the bank who is in the first position. I don't think that happens everywhere. The other thing that you might be surprised about, because we live in the desert, is that there are areas, even in Las Vegas, that have water rights. And those water rights do not have to be sold with the property that you're buying. They can and often are sold separately. So make sure, if you're in a rural area or maybe an area that has horse property, that you check first to see if there are water rights and if they're included with the sale of the home. A few other interesting facts. Nevada has no state income tax, but that does make our property taxes a little bit on the higher side. So you might be thinking that you're saving, but the property taxes could make up for a little bit of that no state income tax. And in Nevada, you can homestead your property, meaning that there's a certain amount of equity that if you have that in your home, creditors cannot place a lien on your property to pay things like medical bills, credit card bills, business loans. But keep in mind that does not apply to anything to deal with the IRS. If you're coming from a place like maybe Chicago, you use attorneys at the closing table when you actually sign all the closing documents. In Nevada, we are a title and escrow state. So the process is a little bit different, but the result is the same. And when you hire me as your realtor, you are not only getting my 14 plus years of experience in the real estate market itself, You're also getting my 44, yes, 44 years of living in Las Vegas, watching this town grow from about 200,000 people, where the focus was on the construction trade and the hospitality trade, to now we have major corporations moving their businesses to Las Vegas, and we have so many sports franchises coming into the Las Vegas Valley that it's getting really hard to keep track of. So keep in mind all of the things that I have seen in the last 44 years in the Las Vegas Valley that now gets to work for you. If you're new to my channel, I'm Eileen Guilbeault, your go-to real estate advisor for all things relocating to Las Vegas. Make sure to like, subscribe, and ring that bell so you're notified every time a new video is uploaded. Buying a home virtually can seem like a daunting task, but one of the things that we do to make it easier is we set up a Zoom call so that we can meet face-to-face so that you can actually see and talk to who you're hiring. Another thing that we do is virtual tours, and that is mostly done by just walking through a home, recording either over FaceTime, or if it's easier, I do the video, I upload it to YouTube as an unlisted video that only you see. So it's kind of like your private section on my YouTube page. Another thing that we must do before any virtual tours is sign a buyer brokerage representation agreement, meaning that you have hired me and everything that goes along with that, including how I'm going to be paid. Another thing that you want to keep in mind is photos. They can be pretty deceptive. They make rooms look bigger than they are. They make things look shinier than they are. So when we walk through on these videos, you're going to get a better idea of how big the rooms are and kind of maybe even how clean the home is by doing a video instead of looking over photos. And then there's the red flags to look out for when you're walking through these homes. Is there delayed maintenance, such as maybe there's a hole in the wall, maybe there's some dead plants out front, maybe it's just really not kept up as nicely as you think that it should be. Those are all things to kind of keep an eye out for. Another thing is, I always have people look on Google Earth the property address of the home that they're considering making an offer on, because that can give you a real nice view of where the property is located. So it'll show you, is it next to a major street? Is there a school a half a block away that you're going to be hearing the bells go off every time school is let out? Are there other things that you don't want to be around? Google Earth is a good way to look at those. Another thing you might want to request is a clue report from your insurance agent on that property to see if there are any undisclosed repairs that have been made that have been submitted to the insurance company. Sometimes sellers who either didn't know about it when they purchased the home, or they're just simply not disclosing it. That is something that, if you're interested, you can request. When is the slowest time of year to buy a home in the Las Vegas market? Is it A, springtime, B, summertime, C, fall, or D, winter? Let me know in the comments below. First person to answer correctly gets a personal shout out from me. And here are a few tips to make your move from out of state smooth. Make sure that you get a re-inspection before you actually move in to make sure that all the repairs were done that were agreed upon in the repair request that you submitted to the seller. Another thing is, make sure that the yard is safe for your pets. So sometimes the ground will go down, but the gate stays up, your little dogs may actually be able to get under those gates. So before you move in and let them roam the yard, make sure that you can actually let them out there safely. Another thing is, some areas of town, there have been coyotes seen. So make sure before you move into an area that you know whether or not it's safe to leave your pets out for extended periods of time. And then hire a cleaning service. Make sure that that home is spick and span before you move in. Just one less thing for you to do. And I always provide a shopping list for my clients. They can check off a few of the items that they know for sure they're going to need in those first few days, and they're not going to want to run to the grocery store. So we do that for them, put it in the fridge, and set it up to where they have everything that they need for those first few days. If you want that list, send me your contact information. And as you know, there can be possible delays. So a few things that you might want to consider before booking the movers to bring all your stuff out is maybe pad a few extra days, just in case anything goes wrong and you can't close when you thought you were going to be able to. And then if you're a little worried about the condition of the home when you get here, you may consider booking a couple of nights at a hotel. And then you can even, from that long trip that you just made, maybe spend a couple of days out at the pool. And then make sure that you have scheduled the utilities to go on prior to your arrival. I cannot tell you how many times I've had my sellers move out, turn off the utilities, and the buyers are forgetful and don't actually turn the utilities on. I have a whole list of the utility companies that you're going to need to contact when you close. If you need one, make sure that you send me your information. And for more videos like this and other real estate tips, check out one of the videos on the screen. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you the next time.